What's happening, y'all? Frank Kern here. In this video, I'm going to show you how to scale top of funnel social media ad campaigns so you can show your stuff to complete strangers and get customers and hopefully do so at a profit. Let's go. All right, so before I start diving into ad campaigns and stuff, I want to show you how a big picture social media campaign is really structured. So you've probably seen this before, so I'm not going to spend forever on it. All right, so we really have 3 levels of campaigns at any given time. And some people are going to teach different variations of this. So, like whatever version of this structure appeals to you, it doesn't matter. All we need to understand is there's basically 3 buckets of people. There are campaigns that are designed to reach total strangers, and these are called the top of funnel campaigns. And then there are campaigns that are designed to reach people that have seen your stuff and maybe gone to your website but didn't buy. We call these middle of funnel campaigns. And of course, there's a million different ways to label it. I know. And then there are campaigns that are designed to reach people who almost bought your stuff, like they abandoned cart, or they went to your order form and they left, or they are very, very recent visitors. There's a million ways to identify these people. So each one of these campaigns has a different function, and today we're going to talk about this one, right? The top of funnel. So let me show you some examples of top of funnel campaigns. What you're looking at right here is a bunch of ad campaigns that I created over the past 47 days here. I think that's right. Math is not an exact science. We all know this. And these are my top of funnel campaigns, and they're running one ad primarily to sell one thing, which is a $4 bundle of marketing courses. In fact, let me show you the ad here. There you go. So it's this ad right here, nothing fancy. It's a video of me yapping, and people can get 4 marketing courses for $4, and there's some upsells and stuff. And really, this funnel is designed to do a couple of things. It's designed to get me a customer and hopefully break even or better. And the reason I want to do that is because, I'm obviously not going to get rich selling $4 products online and stuff. But I want to have an opportunity to make that customer very happy, because a lot of my customers are repeat customers for years. And that little formula has been working for me for 23 years of doing this stuff. So if it ain't broke, don't fix it. So that's the first thing that these campaigns are meant to do right here. The second thing is something I'll tell you about later. But before I do, I want to point out something that you see on the screen here. Look at these 2 columns right here. One says Facebook ROAS, FB ROAS, and the other one says ROAS. And so ROAS means return on ad spend. So for every dollar you put in, how much did you get back? So overall, I spent 20 and I got 26 back. So my ROAS is 1.3, meaning I put $1 in, I get $1.30 back. It's pretty good. I'm not setting the world on fire with this, but again, I'm not expecting to make a fortune selling little bundles of products for $4 at a pop. I'm just trying to get a customer so I can have a longer term success plan here. But big secret number 1, when you are creating campaigns that you are showing to total strangers and you're trying to do this profitably, is you have to have accurate tracking. Absolutely imperative that you have it, right? So what you're looking at right now, this is a software called roas.org, and I had this built by my partners who are brilliant. I didn't build this thing; I just do words and stuff. And I had to build for myself, and what it does is it accurately tracks exactly how much money your social media ads are making you, so it takes the guesswork out, and then you can make it automatically turn off the stuff that doesn't work and automatically scale up the stuff that is working. It's really cool. So if you want to try it, you can, and you can do it with no credit card. You can just go to roas.org. You can create a free account. You don't need to give us your credit card. If you need any help setting everything up, we'll jump on Zoom with you and help you out and try this thing out. I think you'll really like it. And we know that if you try it and you like it, you'll probably want to become a customer, kind of like the oldest trick in the book, right? Demonstrate you can help people by actually helping them. Kind of like get a customer and then keep them. Anyway, none of this stuff is really that hard. It just takes focus. So let's get back to focusing. Okay, so here these things are. All right, so that's thing number 1 about these accounts and these campaigns. And you'll notice I'm not lighting the world on fire, and that's fine. But the thing I want to show you is, look here. The Facebook ROAS, let me sort this just to really drive this home, all right? Facebook, for this campaign right here, is reporting that it only made like 50 cents for every dollar that I put in. In reality, like, and this is a fluke. This doesn't happen all the time, by the way. Like, I put $145 in and I got $4,700 back. So our stats are showing that for every dollar I put in, I got $33 back. Now, again, that was a fluke. And the reason why these stats look so good is because I'm tracking everything that anyone's ever done over the past 47 days. So some of these customers, this campaign got 44 customers, and some of those people went on to buy more stuff, the old put your best foot forward and get repeat customer trick, right? And so that's why we see this. I have a longer sales cycle and people ended up buying more things. So that's fine. But what I want to point out to you here is the difference, right? If I was making decisions about ad campaigns based on like data that's not accurate, like, the Facebook ROAS stats right here, then I would be completely lost. And I wouldn't be able to run ads, and I wouldn't be able to acquire new customers and do it at a profit. So this is like critically important, whether you're using ROAS.org to accurately track how well your ads are working, or you're using something else, which I don't really know what else is out there. There is one program out there. It's called Hyros. It's actually very good. They're our competitor, but there's like enough room for everybody. I don't care. I like those guys. So like, we use one of us for God's sake, because if you're not, you're losing out. There's no possible way that you can actually track it accurately. So that's thing number one. Thing number two about these campaigns, all right, is that every one of these right here, they all have a lot of different audiences that they're testing. Okay, so you might have seen webinars where people are like, hey, let's just like create an ad and run a campaign and just spend a whole lot of money on it. And eventually Facebook's algorithm will get smart enough and it'll start finding you customers. We find that happens pretty rarely. So I always recommend let's test a whole lot of different audiences at the same time. And the reason I'm sharing this with you is, well, let me show you. Let's have a look at this campaign right here. This is a newer campaign. So this, despite it saying that it was created on the 8th of May, which was a Mother's Day, I actually created it on the 9th of May, which was a Monday, but I'm not too good with dates and stuff. So this one's relatively new, right? I'm filming this for you on the 17th. And we put in this one, we've spent $4,300, and Facebook is saying that we've lost money, so I would be concerned. However, in reality, we did okay. We're actually making a buck or two, right? So instead of like putting $1 in and getting 95 cents, which is what Facebook's telling me, I'm actually putting $1 in and getting $1.25 back on average with this campaign. But what I want you to see is how it actually is working, okay? So now we're inside of this campaign. And again, I'm looking at all of this through the ROAS.org interface because it's more accurate. So what we can do, first of all, I'm just going to get rid of the Facebook revenue and the Facebook ROAS because it's not accurate. So hang on a minute. Let me do that. And, I'm not trying to bash Facebook. It's hard for them right now because iOS 14, they can't track stuff accurately. So this is why, we have this tool. Anyway, now that I've gotten that bad data out of there, what I want to do is just sort this for you and show you something. So first thing I want you to see is notice that we're testing a lot of different audiences here. And the strategy that works very, very well for me personally, that I encourage you to test. And again, like everybody's results are always going to be different. So test as much stuff as you can. But one thing that has really worked well is setting up a campaign like this. And I'll set it up where each of these audiences is only spending $5 a day. And so I'm like, I got 120 of them in here that I'm testing. So, I'm spending whatever that math is, $600 a day on this test. So, you do yours however you want to do it. Maybe you want to spend more on a daily basis, maybe less. But I'm not putting all of my eggs in one basket. And that's really important because, our brains tell us, okay, I'm going to create an ad campaign. I'm going to find the perfect target audience and I'm going to show them the perfect ad and stuff. And the reality is, nobody knows what the perfect target audience is because right here where I'm targeting people who are interested in like business networking, Facebook, when I go to create these audiences on Facebook, they're really kind of guessing that these people are interested in business networking. And they're guessing that because they might have like responded to a post about business networking, or maybe they like made a comment about business networking, or maybe they went to a web page about business networking, or maybe they didn't. Maybe they just read posts online about business networking. So Facebook's analyzing all this data and saying, I think this person likes business networking. I don't know. So if they're they're kind of guessing. I'm not going to like put all of my faith in their algorithm and to find me the perfect person just based on audiences alone. So that's why I test a whole bunch of different audiences, because you never know which ones are going to work. For example, I would never in my life think that this business networking audience is going to give me 10 times more money than I spend on ads over, like I said, I started this on Monday the 9th, so whatever, 8 days, right? So it's been 8 days, and it's already given me 10 times return on my ad spend. That's great. I would have never thought that in my life. Like, I'm selling marketing courses. One would think that I would choose an audience like marketing, right? So another takeaway of this whole approach here is you got to test a lot of stuff, and sometimes like the de facto or default audiences that you think are going to work for you, they don't. And it doesn't mean anything. It just means that, okay, whatever, there's only a gazillion other ones to choose from. Let's just test stuff and see what works. And that leads me now to the final thing I guess I want to share with you in terms of how to scale these, which is you got to use automation, right? So you've got really two choices. You can try to find what you think is going to be the perfect audience, and a lot of people will say, oh, well, you just get a lookalike of like 1% of your best customers or whatever, and like you try to figure all that out, and then you put all your budget into that, and you do this. It's probably a good idea to do this all the time anyway, but like specifically about ads, you're like, okay, please work, please work. That's option number one. Put all your eggs in one basket. Option number two is test a bunch of stuff. You don't spend any extra money. You just divide your budget up against a lot of little test audiences like this, and then automate it so that you don't have to imagine me. I got 4 children. I'm exhausted right now making this thing for you. I was up until 1:30 last night with my firstborn child, the poor thing. Had a kidney infection. She was in so much pain. I'm out of it right now. Imagine trying to manage 120 different ad sets, and imagine trying to manage 5 and 6 running campaigns that each had hundreds of ad sets, and then there's no way. So the other trick is to use automation, and really what you want to do is you want to do 2 things at the very minimum, which is number one, you want to set it up to where if one of these things, let's say it spends $20 over the next 3 or 4 days or whatever, and it doesn't get any sales, you want to just automatically turn it off. So you can't really get hit that hard with any losses in the campaign, right? Because that's everyone's biggest fear with running ads. It's like, oh man, what if I lose money? Well, some of these things aren't going to work, so you might as well minimize that by saying, okay, if it spends $10, $15, $20, whatever, and it doesn't get me my money back, or it doesn't get me a customer or a lead, let's just turn it off automatically. So that's the first thing to do. The second thing to do within this option here is to automatically raise the budgets on things that work. So you can see some of these have higher spends than the others. And the reason why is because I've set up an automation where it says, okay, look, and if this thing has made more than 1.7% return on the ad spend over the past week, I want you to raise the budget by 5% every 6 hours. And so 5% of $5 isn't very much, but it starts to compound, and that's how we slowly grow these things. And at the end of the day, if you stick with it and you're paying attention, you can have a situation where you're showing ads to complete strangers, and the ads don't have to be fancy. I mean, you saw mine, right? So you're showing this stuff to complete strangers, and you're getting new customers, and you're actually making a buck or two. And then, and we'll cover this in another video, then you will discover where the gold mine is. And the gold mine is right here. Okay, so what's really happening in this top of funnel scaling thing, I appreciate you sticking with me. By the way, I'm not going to edit this and make it cool because I'm about to fall on my face. I just wanted to live up to my commitment of a video for you every day. What you're going to discover here is what happens is when you're running these top of funnel ads and you're using the methods that I like to share and that I use anyway. So again, test everything, but I think this is what you'll discover when you're taking total strangers, in all of these different audiences and stuff. And you're like, well, who knows what's going to work? And you're showing them an ad that looks like this, which is get 4 courses from this big ugly dude for $4. And these people don't know me from Adam. And then those people click on this ad. What's happening is essentially they are self-identifying as being probably pretty dang interested, right? Why else would they have clicked and like gone to my site or watched that ad or whatever if they didn't want to get marketing courses? So you're creating this profile. It's like a perfect customer avatar that you're not making up, and you're not brainstorming, like, oh, I want my perfect customer to be so and so. You're actually doing it based on the actions of thousands, if not hundreds of thousands, if not millions of people that are seeing your ads and doing things. And everybody says it, and that's a very true statement. Actions speak louder than words, right? So if the people that are interacting with your ads and ultimately buying your stuff end up being, I don't know, 31-year-old, three-armed people that like to eat, I don't know, basil plants whole or something, you can tell I'm sleep deprived, then guess what? That's who your customer avatar is, and that's who Facebook's algorithm will start to find for you. All right. So if you use a tool like ROAS.org, especially what will happen is every time somebody buys something in this campaign, it'll feed that data back to it. All right. And then when it's going into all of these different audiences right here, our system is training their machine learning to find better and better people for you in each of these audiences, which means that now each of these campaigns will start to work better. And that means you are getting more and more of the perfect people that you can ultimately show your middle of funnel and your bottom of funnel ads to. And those are going to be your most profitable ads for the sheer and obvious reason that most people who see an ad don't immediately buy the thing. Duh, right? So to recap all of this and like summarize it for you, I really appreciate you sticking with me this long, by the way. It's pretty simple, right? So your top of funnel stuff, don't expect it to get you rich, right? The purpose of the top of funnel stuff is to get a customer at break even or better, so you can like get repeat business from that customer. It's also to get opt-ins and leads and things like that. The second function of the top of funnel is to get people that you can show these campaigns to, because these campaigns are, generally speaking, way more profitable than top of funnel, even if you're selling the exact same thing. And of course, I'll cover this in other videos in this series for you. All right. And the key to really doing it without pulling your hair out, without driving yourself crazy, is to use automation. And what you've got to, if you don't use automation, you at least have to accurately track stuff. And I want to show you something cool, by the way. The overwhelming majority of people that are like in my database, they've all come from this ad over the past year. Like, I've been running this same ad, doing the exact same thing I'm showing you right now. I've been running this whole same thing since June or July, I can never remember, of 2021. Like, this is how total strangers find me on the internet and get into my funnel and everything. So today, I'm filming this for you on the 17th, and it was like 2 or 3 hours ago. It is right now 6:27. Yeah, so like 2 hours ago, I put out a new offer to my database of people, and have a look at this. All right, here, let's hit refresh. When you get customers and you make them happy, and they're coming from ads, you have this benefit of you can create an offer and send out an email in 2 hours, pick up an extra, a couple bucks or two. In my case, it's $4,100. I'll take that. Every $4,100 counts, especially since it's only a couple hours into it. Where did all these people come from? Well, they came from here, from the top of the funnel, right? So I guess if we were to like encapsulate top of funnel stuff, it's to think long term. So like some of these people that just gave me $297 like in the past 2 hours, and a lot more of them are going to give me that, by the way, over the course of this promotion. Some of these people might have come from campaigns that weren't even profitable, but now they are. And you know what's cool? This little guy right here, ROAS.org, it can actually track them for forever. So if someone clicks on your ad and buys something from you today, and then like next Christmas they become a customer, guess what? It can track it back to that ad that ran, right down to the actual individual ad. I think you'll love it. So I hope you try it. ROAS.org. Try an account for free. No credit card needed. I'm going to get some sleep now. I appreciate you watching this, and happy hunting. Take it easy.